What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, yesterday in an official tweet from Paul Bettany, that's the actor who plays Vision, replying to Disney Plus Brazil's tweet of a trailer and announcement for the Latin America version of the platform, he replied, "No post-credit scenes this time?" with a Vision gif. Now, of course, while a lot of fans are going to take that to mean literally no post-credit scenes in WandaVision, that's purely speculation, as we haven't seen any of the formats or shows from Marvel Studios on Disney Plus. We don't even have official trailers yet, but that certainly put us in mind of all of the plot leaks we've gotten already for this TV show, 4 in particular, and of the 4, there was one specifically that warrants covering. We're going to go ahead and read through that word for word, break it all down, annotate it where necessary, and of course issue the normal spoiler warning. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray bill, as well as our 3rd and final Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So first and foremost, the normal spoiler warning. Again, there have been 4 plot leaks this year for WandaVision, 2 of which felt like were pretty poorly translated into English and definitely lost something in translation. Another one that we covered here at the channel that we all but stopped short of making fun of it. It literally was just fan fiction. And then there was this one covering the first 2 episodes in full of WandaVision, and not only was it well written, but it felt like it had the tone and pacing of a professionally written TV production. Either way, the normal spoiler warning, take anything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios with a grain of salt. But in the past, some of these 4chan leaks, which is where this comes from today, also don't go to that site, it's not safe. Try to find it on Reddit where you can. This was posted back in the beginning of May. Some of this has become right in the past, so if this is in any way going to ruin your Disney Plus or Marvel Phase 4 experience, only you know if you're susceptible to this kind of thing. Kind of begs the question as to why you clicked on this video in the first place. Either way, the obligatory spoiler warning out of the way. You might want to back out now. We're going to overlay the text and read through this. The main storyline is a doctor who got snapped in Infinity War trying to enter the multiverse reality to be with his dead wife and daughter. The first scene is Hulk and Pym giving a talk at a university. Neil deGrasse Tyson cameos. They're talking about the plot of Endgame and time travel opening up multiverses. They take questions and someone asks what's stopping them from doing it again. Pym says he destroyed all the old particles in the formula, and Hulk destroyed the machines and the blueprints so nobody could recreate what they did. The scene focuses on one main antagonist of the show, parentheses Dr. Smith, and he walks out after explaining they destroyed everything. I'm guessing Dr. Smith is a huge name and that's why there's a placeholder. Wanda is in France living off the grid. She has a different hairstyle, glasses, wears ugly clothes to try to blend in. She works at a farm taking phone calls in other languages. She lives in a loft in a suburban place, and one night she's drinking and it's implied she hasn't used her powers since Endgame. She uses her powers to create an image of Vision next to her, and he says some lines from Civil War and Infinity War like "I only feel you," and it's supposed to be her memory of him. But then he says "find me," and WandaVision freaks out and ends the image and goes to bed crying. SWORD is looking for Wanda and they are tracking her. They pick up on her signal when she used her powers in her house and they go to her location. The next morning, SWORD, the girl from Captain Marvel all grown up, shows up at Wanda's place and wants to meet with her. She's been avoiding them for months but agrees to go with them. She makes a go bag of cash and clothes and stuff and hides it under her bed. She goes to a cafe with them and they explain they need to reassemble the most powerful Avengers for the next Thanos level threat. Wanda plays along but tells them she's not ready. They tell her to think about it, but they need her to come with them to the US very soon. She agrees and goes home. While she was out, the doctor from the very first scene had snuck into her apartment and stole her cash. He was following SWORD without them realizing. Wanda goes home and takes the go bag to the train station. She runs onto a train as it's boarding and hides under a window. When someone comes for her ticket, she tries to give him cash but doesn't have any. Then the doctor hands the ticket taker cash and gives her the ticket. She thanks him and he sits with her. He says he recognizes her but won't say anything as she clearly doesn't want to be found. They start talking and he tells her he made a facility in the Midwest to support snap and blip victims who couldn't psychologically handle it, and he's in Europe meeting with potential patients at the hospital. It's an inpatient facility and people live there, but it's confidential and people can leave when they want. He says he knows she snapped because she was famous and wants to help her heal, so she agrees and gets off the train with him for his private jet. In the US, he takes her to his facility, which is almost a quarter-mile long and looks like an apartment complex. People have balconies and live normal lives for the most part, but they live at the facility. He gives her a room and sets her up with a psychiatrist. Wanda moves into her apartment, which is connected to the other apartments by a kind of lobby area. There she meets a guy whose kids died in between the snap and blip, so when he came back, they had been gone for years. There's a girl's wife who snapped and blipped, but she had already moved on and killed herself. The widow is Kathryn Hahn from Parks and Rec. Wanda tells her story, but without details because they don't appear to know who she is. So she gets her first appointment and is reluctant to give details there, but the doctor tells her that everything is confidential and nobody knows that she's there. So they just start talking about what makes her happy, and Wanda says the last time she was truly happy was when she was a kid with her brother and they watched American sitcoms. The doctor tells her that she can get some old shows on video and gives them to Wanda. She gives Wanda Brady Bunch, Roseanne, Boy Meets World, and a few others that I do not recognize. All shows are real though, so Wanda goes to her apartment and watches some shows and flashes back to her in Quicksilver as kids watching the same episode, and that's the end of the first episode. The second episode starts with Dr. Smith driving his car on the highway. Him and his wife are taking their daughter to dance studio when he starts to snap. The wife grabs the wheel as he's disappearing and crashes into an oncoming car. Dr. Smith blips back with a bunch of other people on the side of the highway and everyone is really confused. Normal people start honking at them and everyone gets out of their cars, and then the titles play. Wanda goes to lunch at a restaurant chow hall in the facility and meets Kat Dennings from Thor. She's there because she got snapped and blipped, and her boyfriend, the guy from Thor 2 with the camera, got diagnosed with cancer in the 5 years. She got blipped back, he was dying. She tried to find him, but he died a week after the blip, and she couldn't find him until it was too late. So she has guilt and PTSD like everybody else at the facility. She says she knows Wanda, but won't tell anybody who she is. Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man is looking at the security footage of Dr. Smith at the gas station by his private landing strip in the Midwest. Dr. winks at the camera and shoots it with a paintball gun from his trunk. Jimmy Woo goes backwards in the video using the license plate and sees it at the landing strip and searches Dr. Smith's plane ID and calls Interpol. Wanda goes to her second session and they talk about the shows she watched the other night. The doctor asks if there's anything that made her feel close to that happiness in her adult life that she says she had, but she can't talk about it. The doctor agrees and says that they're only been a year since the blip and a lot of people are only starting to talk about their traumas. Wanda leaves Dr. Smith and comes in another door, asks the doctor how Wanda is. The doctor, I'll just call her Dr. Jones to make this easier, says Wanda is opening up, but it could be days, months, nobody knows. Smith tells Jones to try to trigger Wanda by talking about Vision, and Jones agrees. Wanda meets Kathryn Hahn and Darcy in the restaurant again after her session, and they have dinner. They go back to Wanda's apartment and watch some Brady Bunch. They talk about their experiences and how they wish there was a way to bring their lovers back. Kathryn Hahn is a plant. We don't know that yet. Well, obviously everyone at this channel does. And they start to ask Wanda about her boyfriend, but Wanda won't say much. Darcy distracts Kathryn by trying to make some jokes. They all drink and leave for the night as Wanda goes to bed. Another flashback, and Dr. Smith is at his old house right before the blip. People are still freaking out and celebrating, and he knocks on the door, and it's another family. They say that they got the house from the bank during the bad times because the whole family snapped. Dr. Smith couldn't find his wife at the highway, so he goes to the library and uses a computer to search for his daughter and finds out that they died in that car accident. He breaks down in the library crying. He goes to the university he used to work at, and they celebrate seeing him along with a few other colleagues. They talk to him about the hospital that is housing people in the Midwest for people with snap-related PTSD and that he should transfer there, and he does, which is interesting because this is the same doctor who just recruited Wanda. Dr. Jones and Wanda have another session. Wanda says she finished all of the Brady Bunch and it brought back a lot of good memories. Dr. Jones talks about how Wanda is fitting in, and Wanda talks about the girls she made friends with the other night. Dr. Jones is happy and tells her to pursue friendships even if they don't match up to the Avengers and Vision. Wanda starts to get upset and Dr. Jones consoles her, but Wanda storms out and starts packing up her bags in her apartment. Kathryn Hahn comes by and Wanda says she knew that they just wanted her for her connection to her old life and she's going to leave. Kathryn Hahn relaxes her and tells her to talk to Smith about it. Wanda eventually calms down and agrees. Jimmy Woo is looking at footage of the plane in France and rewinds it to see Dr. Smith getting off the train with Wanda. He doesn't recognize her, and then puts in the next tape, and it's the footage of Dr. Smith getting on the train in Wanda's old hometown. He sees SWORD agents in the background running after the train after it leaves the station and says, I wonder why they're there. That's presumably the end of the second episode. Now, as I mentioned, this is a lot better written than the normal stuff we get off anonymous leaks like 4chan and Reddit. And again, quickly, if you're looking for this original post, when we first covered this earlier in the year, it was in the earliest part of May, which means it was reposted from 4chan to Reddit sometime in the 2 weeks before that, the end of April. I still had the original transcript and facsimile from when I screenshotted it earlier in the year. If you go looking for this, you want your own copy, again, please stay off of 4chan. That site is not safe. It'll definitely be archived on one or more of the subreddits where they posted this originally. That's where you definitely want to get it from. Those sites are much safer. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below on the validity of this. I know it's only the first 2 episodes, but did you see what I meant when I said in the prologue that it sort of had the timing and pacing? It had the feel, the authenticity of what feels like a Marvel show. Let me know all your thoughts down below on this quickly, and let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 700,000 subscriber mark. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. We'll be giving this away at 750,000 subscribers. This is in no way an action figure. This is a museum quality, almost 3 feet tall piece, as well as our 3rd and final Infinity Saga box set during the holiday season at the end of the year. We've already given away 2 at the channel this year. This is going to be our final one. If you want to be entered to win either of the PlayStations, the Beta Ray Bill, or this 3rd and final Infinity Saga box set that we'll be giving away during December, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the channel. Leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, and if you've missed any of the previous winner announcements, no worries. All you have to do is scroll back through the channel, look for the winner announcement in the sub count in the video, click on that video and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.